the Young and the Restless Spoilers. Sally Spectra's life had always been a whirlwind of ambition, determination, and a relentless pursuit of success. But when she became entangled with the men of the Newman family, her once clear path was thrown into chaos. Adam and Nick Newman, two powerful yet deeply flawed men, had drawn her into their orbit, promising love and security but ultimately delivering only heartbreak and confusion. Sally had always been drawn to strong, charismatic men, those who could offer her the stability and protection she craved. But as she navigated her relationships with Adam and Nick, she began to realize a painful truth: the men of the Newman family were not capable of providing the lasting love and happiness she desired. Their lives were filled with secrets, betrayals, and a restless pursuit of power that left little room for true loyalty or commitment. For Sally, the dream of building a life with either of them was quickly unraveling. It was in the midst of this turmoil that Sally discovered she was pregnant with Adam's child. The revelation struck her like a lightning bolt, leaving her reeling with uncertainty. How could she bring a child into a world where the father was a man as complicated and unreliable as Adam Newman? Yet, despite everything, Sally couldn't ignore the bond she felt with the life growing inside her. The decision of whether to keep the baby or not weighed heavily on her heart. Sally was no stranger to making tough choices, but this one felt different, more personal, more permanent. She knew that if she chose to keep the baby, her life would be irrevocably changed. The prospect of becoming a single mother was daunting. Could she raise a child on her own, without the support of a partner? And what kind of father would Adam be? Could she trust him to be there for their child, given his history of emotional distance and erratic behavior? Then there was Billy Abbott. Sally had found herself increasingly drawn to Billy, a man who, despite his own troubled past, seemed to offer a sense of stability and genuine care that she desperately needed. But Sally knew that if Billy discovered she was carrying Adam's child, it would likely be the end of any possibility of a relationship between them. Billy had his own complicated history with the Newmans, and the idea of raising Adam's child would be too much for him to bear. As Sally wrestled with her decision, she found herself consumed by fear and loneliness. The idea of becoming a single mother terrified her. She had always been someone who thrived on the attention and support of those around her, especially from strong, protective men. But now, she was faced with the possibility of having to navigate the most challenging journey of her life alone. Sally's fears began to manifest in sleepless nights and anxious days. She kept her pregnancy a secret, unsure of who she could trust with such life-altering news. But secrets have a way of coming to light, and it wasn't long before someone close to her noticed the changes. Chloe Mitchell, Sally's close friend and confidant, was the first to suspect. Chloe had always been perceptive, and she noticed the subtle shifts in Sally's behavior, the way she seemed more guarded, the way she avoided alcohol at social events, and the way she often placed a protective hand on her abdomen without even realizing it. "Sally, is there something you need to tell me?" Chloe asked gently one evening, the concern evident in her voice. Sally hesitated, her heart pounding. She had kept this secret buried deep, but now, with Chloe's kind eyes searching hers, she felt the weight of it pressing down on her. I'm pregnant," Sally finally confessed, her voice barely above a whisper. "It's Adam's." Chloe's eyes widened in surprise, but she quickly recovered, wrapping Sally in a comforting embrace. "Oh, Sally. You don't have to go through this alone. We'll figure this out together." But even as Chloe offered her support, Sally couldn't shake the fear gnawing at her insides. What would happen when the truth came out? How would Adam react? And what about Billy? Could she ever hope to build a life with him now that she was carrying Adam's child? The days turned into weeks, and Sally's anxiety only grew. She knew she couldn't keep the pregnancy a secret forever, but she was terrified of what the future held. She considered all her options, including the possibility of terminating the pregnancy, but the idea filled her with sorrow. Despite everything, she couldn't bring herself to end the life growing inside her. Sally knew she had to make a decision soon. If she chose to keep the baby, she would need to face the reality of becoming a single mother, a prospect that both terrified and empowered her. Could she be strong enough to raise a child on her own, without relying on a man to protect her? Could she find the strength to create a life for herself and her child?